Lumya. Mission on Tatooine. 17 ABY. Lumya, age 11. Chapter 1. I don't think they're coming, Leia said, sitting at the head of the table in our conference. We were on Kamar, the home of our rebel base. The attack was issued 3 days ago, she said, picking up a holoprojector. We need to stay on our guard, though, my master Luke Skywalker said. Everyone nodded in agreement as Leia projected a hologram of Kamar. The attack was supposed to start here and work its way towards us, but we haven't gotten reports of Imperial sightings anywhere on the planet, Leia said as the planet's surface produced a dot for the battle's starting point and a dotted line leading to our current location. I could see this image perfectly, even though I was in the back of the room behind my master. After more discussions on the topic, General Leia ended the meeting. Lumya, I have a special mission for you, Luke said as we walked down the hallway towards a hangar bay. What's the mission, Master? I replied excitedly. You're going to Tatooine to spy on the Imperials there, reporting back every night. You will be staying with your old friend, Sataria Ori, he said. And I'm doing this alone? I said. No, you'll have N2K8 and R4A9 with you. But I have to stay here in case a Khan attacks while you're gone, he replied. I nodded, understanding the reason behind my master's need to stay. When do I leave? I asked as we walked into the hangar. Right now, Luke said, motioning to a silver X-Wing fighter. I climbed into the ship, the hatch closing when N2K8 and R4A9 were on board. Lift off now, R4, I told my astromech as we lifted into the air and flew out of the hangar, soon leaving the planet's atmosphere. Set a course for Tatooine. We zipped through hyperspace, heading for my home planet. R4 beeped, and I replied, Yes, R4. Of course I'm excited about seeing Tari again. I had told my droids about my adventures with Sataria Ori, my best friend back on Tatooine. I remembered the time that a rebel pilot had to stay in her home for a night. She invited me over and he told us about some of his past battles against the old Empire. I smiled at the memory as we came out of hyperspace. I spotted Tatooine, and we soared into its atmosphere. R4, land over there in that landing bay, I told R4 as we neared our destination. We landed in the bay, a Twidarian greeting us upon arrival. Welcome to Tatooine, where we have sand, sand, and more sand, he said. In a quieter voice, he whispered, Sataria is waiting for you outside. I nodded in thanks, N2K8 and R4A9 following me as I walked to the outside of the bay. Lumya, I heard a voice shout from behind me. Sataria ran up to me as I turned around, hugging me as if it were the last time we'd ever see each other. Hey, Tari, I said, excitedly hugging my best friend back. We have so much to catch up on. Oh, follow me, she said, letting go of me and walking swiftly towards the town she lived in. We raced to her house, as we did when we were younger, laughing all along the way. Come on, I'll take you to a room, Sataria said as we darted inside. I followed her through the kitchen and into the hallway, where we turned left into a sand-sprinkled room. It hasn't been used in a while, but it's still the room you used to stay in when you used to come over, Sataria said. I smiled, remembering the memories we made in this room. Thank you, I said, walking in and swiping some of the sand from the faded blue bedsheets. I'll be in my room if you need me, Sataria said, leaving my doorway. I looked around the room, noticing a few new details, added since the last time I was here. I spotted a rust-covered blaster and part of a protocol droid lying scattered across the room. I sat on the bed, forcing myself between the covers. Before I knew it, I was asleep. Chapter 2. When I woke back up, the skies of my home planet were pitch black. Well, at least I caught up on my sleep, I thought, noticing a note on the door. It read, Lumya, there was not much Imperial activity today. A small-time thief was confronted by a stormtrooper outside the marketplace, but that was all. I was your lookout today. Sincerely, Sataria. I laid the note down and sat back onto my bed. Oh no, I said, slapping my palm onto my forehead. I had forgotten to contact Master Luke about the Imperial activity. I used my comlink to get in touch with him, reading the note's parts that were needed. After we hung up, I decided it was best for me to train. I activated my training saber, swinging it in the pattern of Combat Form 6. I repeated the pattern for hours, reaching the point that I was in need of deep meditation. I deactivated the saber, laying it on the blue bedsheets of my bed as I sat on the floor. I concentrated on the Force, my eyes closed. I sensed several objects around me floating in the air. I opened my eyes to find that I was 3 feet above the ground. I fell quickly, and the objects along with me. I looked out the window. Morning. I rearranged the fallen items, grabbing my lightsaber and cloak, quickly remaking the bed and powering the droids up. Wait, how'd N2 and R4 get in here? I wondered as they began powering up. Oh yeah, they can move themselves. Hello, Master Lumya, N2K8 said as his power came on. R4A9 beeped excitedly, as if he could tell what we were going to do today. Well, what did you expect, R4? I replied to his comment. Spying on Imperials is what we were sent here to do. R4 chirped in a more worried tone. Well, if they find us, we'll have a defense, N2K8 said before I could reply. Let's go, you two, I said, walking out the door. I knocked on Sataria's door. It opened, revealing an extremely tired Sataria. We're going to the Tashi station and to Rome, I said. She nodded sleepily and closed the door as we walked down the hallway and out the front door. A girl ran by, followed by several stormtroopers. N2K8 started to step out and blast them, but I put a hand up to stop him. We're not supposed to fight, just recon and report back, I said. I cautiously examined the area for Imperials, then contacted Luke. Fuzz came through. Master Luke? Master Luke, are you there? It's me, Lumya, I said, doing my best to get through to him. I felt my holocom buzz and pulled it out to a recording of Luke. Lumya, your mission has changed. If you get this message, I am probably on a Star Destroyer near the Tashi station on Tatooine. Come rescue me, his hologram said, the message fading away once it was over. Crap, I said, running towards the outskirts of the Tashi station. I spotted the stormtroopers chasing the girl we saw earlier, deciding to follow them. The girl ran into a shop, and the troopers followed her. I stood against the wall, secretly looking in to see what was going on. We saw a girl run in here, the lead trooper said to Watto. There's no girl in here, the owner, a small reddish Toydarian, replied smoothly. And if you're not going to buy anything, please leave my shop. I flattened against the wall as the troopers grimaced and stormed out of the shop. I followed them, sneaking behind and boarding the Star Destroyer Master Luke had spoken of. I pulled my cloak over my head, concealing my identity. A commanding trooper walked up to me. Identification, please, he said. You don't need to see my identification, I said, waving my hand to use a Jedi mind trick, a skill I had recently perfected. I don't need to see your identification, the trooper repeated. I may go about my business, I said. You may go about your business, he said, then walked away. I cautiously watched him walk away as I walked into the corridors to find my way to the detention area to rescue Master Luke. I walked silently into another hallway, searching for an elevator to the detention area. I took another left turn, finding myself back where I started. Bantha fodder, I said. This place is like a maze. I turned right and walked down the hallway, finding myself at a closed blast door. I hacked into the lock pad, opening the door. Someone was on the other side. I flattened against the wall, but my cloak brushed up against the opposite wall, creating a rasping noise. Who's there? The trooper on the other side said. I walked out, ready to defend myself at any time. But I saw no stormtrooper. I saw the girl from the market.